Hey guys, this is the general reading for Pisces for November 2018. I do 2 videos per sign, so one is going to be the soul journey reading for Pisces, and then next after this I'll do the soulmate reading. So if you're looking for something more love, this may not be it, although sometimes it does show up that way just because of soul journey wise, love has to do with it. But either way, this is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. If you have significant Pisces in your chart, or if you're just guided to this video, if you're a cross watcher, you may resonate with this energy. Also, for more of a complete picture, you could check out my other videos of your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, significant placements in your chart, and any other videos that resonate with you. Energies, they can flip-flop or change, so apply to your life as necessary. Some, none, or all of it may apply. I could read it as love. It could be something else. It could be read as you, and this is another person. Just apply it to your life as necessary. Don't make it fit if it doesn't. This is a general reading. If you want to know more specifically energies associated to you, or if this energy applies to you, or any blocks that you have, anything, how to resolve anything like that, look in the description box below, and it'll tell you about my services, prices. I have a lot of different types of services, and I'm constantly evolving, so those are always growing. But you could check that out if you need any type of help. If there's anything that you do need help with that isn't there, let me know, because I may just not have thought about it to put it as a service. I've had some people come to me and do that, and I'm able to work with them, even though I don't have it as an actual listed service. So anyways, check that out for private readings, healings, block removals within yourself, a situation or relationship, anything like that. If any of you are interested in donations, which I get questions about that, my PayPal information is also in the description box below. To contact me, my email is also in the description box below. I think that's pretty much it. So, let's get started on your reading. I pulled quite a few more cards to really know what was going on with you guys. And sorry I haven't gotten to you guys in a while. There's a couple signs I haven't. So I really want to make sure I really wrap things up for you within this reading. But thank you so much. I appreciate for being patient with me, because, we're all on our healing journey here. So I do the best I can, basically. So Pisces, the way you're sitting at now, especially in your central position, it was like quite a few decks really wanted to talk to you guys. And where you're sitting at, or really what's in the central position, is you have the Judgment card, the 9 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, which I'm going to show you this too, the Lovers, the Wheel, and the 4 of Cups. So there's definitely a lot of endings of cycles going on here, and this is not just these cards that I'm describing. So here's your Judgment, 9 of Wands, and your 9 of Pentacles. And underneath that is kind of like another clarifier, or I don't know, the deck just wanted to talk to you guys, was the Lovers, the Lovers card, the Wheel, and the 4 of Cups. So, very much about really seeing something that you didn't see before, and kind of, it could either be in a union, like with the Lovers card, or something that you really want within your life, or things just also within yourself. And for most of you, I really believe it's all of what I just said. Because it's really about this balance not only internally, but externally as well. And I think for a while, Pisces has really looked externally to themselves. I think within the last few months, there's been a lot of energies pushing you guys to start to look within. And I feel like for a lot of Pisces, the energy is getting stronger and stronger, where it's like, it's really making you have to do that. Like, really go within and just see what is going on, what is pushing you guys, like hearing that call, like, who am I? What do I want? What am I about? What will I accept? What will I not accept? Like for the Judgment, you have the Secrets card. Like, it's like you having an awakening. You have a lot going on here about also a perspective change, a perspective shift. So I think this is really, I really, really believe you guys are going to see this on an internal and an external level. It might be something that has just been baffling you and you've been going at for a while externally. And now something is really making you really see things differently. Whether something happens to make you see things differently, or whether now you're just like, you know what? You're just going within and you're doing the work. And that in itself, maybe in addition to external too, but it's really showing you something. It's showing something, this is the Secrets card, that you didn't see before. It may or may not be bothersome to you, because with this Nine of Wands, I'm not sure if this has already happened. I think a lot of it has happened, but I do think it's going to be a little bit unsettling to you, whatever you figure out or learn. And it's asking you and telling you, like, you are going to have spiritual endurance and perseverance through this. It is going to kind of like possibly shake you up a little bit, which is why he looks wounded. But at the same time, this is the Wounded Healer card also. And I mean, Pisces really represents that a lot. I find in a lot of ways, just because my Venus is in Pisces, so it's in the way that I love. So I understand very much the Pisces energy, at the very least in the loving and the giving way. But I'm a Taurus sun. And I find when I really compare a lot of those energies that, as far as loving wise, and compassion and stuff, I feel like Taurus and Pisces in a lot of ways, like they're very similar energies. I actually find that Gemini and Pisces creatively and on a whole nother level wise are similar, as far as that childlike, creative, imaginative, magical play. I feel like Gemini, and other signs too, but those are the two to me that really stick out, that Gemini and Pisces are very similar like that. As far as the way of loving and doing things and the way of compassion and stuff like that, I find that Taurus, at least, you know, especially Taurus females, but Taurus anyways, and Pisces are very similar on that. They both very much represent, in my eyes, the wounded healer type stuff. Which is great in a way, because that means you're very passionate. I meant to say patient, but you're passionate too. Very patient and loving and compassionate, and you're really there. Like, you will really stand by somebody. You will be standing there looking like this, standing next to somebody. And that is great. That is a great attribute to have. But it also comes across in a way sometimes as a self-sabotaging way, in a self-sacrificing way, in a way of, were all these wands really necessary? Were they? You know, not only did they give you what you want, and I know that's not the way a Pisces really looks at things. Like, we don't look at what we want. We're just being there for you. But I think what this is going to come to show you is that there really was something in it for you. There really was. There really was a self-serving way, and that's okay. Like, that's a human. That's what it means to be a human. You know, people, there's always something in it for you if you're doing something, even if it's bad, and people don't understand that. That's why if you're constantly putting yourself in situations that make you feel like this, you've got to stop and ask yourself, how is it serving you? And I think that might be one of the biggest things that's coming up for you guys, is you're really starting to see, and me as well, how are these things serving you? Especially the things that make you feel like this. Because I think you're starting to get to a point where it's like, listen, I'm ready to ride or die with you, but if it's not going to come and be beneficial to me and give back to me, and I'm just doing this and looking like this for no reason whatsoever, and yet I'm Pisces, I'm supposed to be the most, in a way, evolved sign of the zodiac, well, that just makes me look stupid. And it makes me feel stupid. And so now you're starting to realize, wow, it's not just other people that are showing me and making me feel like I'm not good enough, or something's wrong with me, or that I'm stupid, or that I'm not like other people, and that I'm like weird in a way. But now I see in a way why. And it's not that you are, it's not that it's true, it's that you've been letting yourself sit in this position for things that people don't understand. And a lot of that is okay, because you're not going to. You are way showers, you are path pavers. You are ones that will show people the way and show people there's another way of doing things to help them pull their heads out of their butts. But at the same time, the part of you that needs to be let go and be the end of this cycle, to allow this pattern to change with this wheel card, is the one that allows you to be sitting here unnecessarily in a way that has nothing to show. There is no reason for it. The only reason you're doing it is for some self-sabotaging or self-sacrificing thing that for some reason you're doing it that you learned in your past. Why does my thing look weird? It bothers me. Hold on, guys. Whatever. I think I need to fix the thing. My cat's messed up the corner of one of my things. Whatever. But that in the past must have served you in some way. I think you're starting to see some part of yourself that is really showing a self-sabotaging and self-sacrificing way within yourself. And it's not serving you and it's holding you back. And for a while, because of the way people are, it was really easy to say it was them and you were just soaking it up and dealing all this stuff from your external world. But I think you're really starting to see it within yourself, and you're starting to see how you are actually holding yourself back more than anyone else than what you thought was in your mind. And it's definitely something from your childhood. It's from when you were younger, and you've like carried it on to an adult. And if you want to get better, you've got to find out what this is and put it to an end and really look at yourself. And I think you're really starting to do that. If you're not, it might benefit you to do that. Because this pattern needs to change, this cycle. At the bottom of the deck, you have the wheel card, or the world. You have the wheel and the world. And this card, which I don't even know where it came from because I didn't pull it out. Like, I turned around, did other things, and it was sitting here. And it was by the deck, so it could have been on top. I thought the deck was where it was. So anyways, I don't know where it came from, but the Four of Wands. You know, this balance, this stability, this happiness, this home. Like, you want to feel happy and whole and secure again. And this feeling of, like, before I even started laying the cards and the decks were wanting to talk to me, and I was like, what feeling is this? It was really this feeling of things like being better, this more joyous, uplifting feeling, empowering, that I've been feeling for Pisces for a while now, but it's tending to go like this. And I think Taurus has that very much as well. And it's like where you start to get on your game, and then it's like something about you pulls you right back to this. And it's almost like this question, and it just keeps going like this. You'll get an empowering energy, and then something in your environment will pull you back down. And then you'll get another empowering energy, and then something in your environment will pull you back down. And if you haven't already started to look at it or figure it out, I know I have. I've really been noticing this recently. Then you're going to need to look at this. But something about you it keeps pulling you back down. What is that? What is that is making you like, will you not feel needed? Will you not feel loved? Is that fearful? Like, what will that feel like not feeling like this? What will this feel like not feeling hurt and wounded? Will you feel safe? Does this feel safer than this? Even though what you really want is this, does this feel safer? Because you know what this feels like? You're prepared for the hurt. You know why you're not more successful. You know why things aren't better. Is this a badge of honor in some way? Does this make you feel better because this supports the story you've been telling yourself? And if you come to realize that this was an illusion and you wake up to it, then you're going to your mind's going to be blown, because you're going to realize that you've been sitting here all along when you could have been here more often. And the only reason that you were here was because of you, was because of your perception. Now, I'm not saying people don't hurt you. That's not what I'm saying. But those are little things. Those are minor. But those are the excuses that you allowed to feed your reality. What reality? This reality. This reality that needs to come to an end. This cycle of Pisces that needs to come to an end. The one of things being wrong, the one of being sad, the one of poor me and of being wounded and why things don't work. You push and you persevere through this. And not only, this isn't a bad thing. This is a bad thing if you allow it to be anything can be a bad thing. Love can be a bad thing. Money can be a bad thing. Working can be a bad thing. It's about balance, which ironically enough, it's crazy how these readings always come together. But ironically enough, is your card. I always pull like a spiritual card, the animal spirit, and like one that is like more of a spiritual deck of mine. And it's about the Six of Pentacles. It's about balance. This is not a bad energy you guys have been in. You've just been allowing this energy to fuel a negative thought pattern of yours. You don't have to let it go. You have to change the way your mind thinks about it and the way your mind sees it. Especially if you want to feel more like this. Independent, successful, free, on top of your game, where people don't look at you like a victim. And I have to say, this feeling that's really coming up is, and I want, when I ask you this, I want you really to be real with yourself. All right? Please don't let your ego pop in right now, because this is about you. This is a soul journey reading. I want you to really ask yourself, which one of these do you really want? This makes me want to cry just saying it. So some of you, when I say this, it may hit something and make you want to cry. Which one of these energies do you really want? Which one is your action showing? Which one is your reality supporting right now? These are two very, very different energies. Which one do you want, Pisces? And which one are your actions supporting? Which one are your thoughts supporting? Because you create your reality. Because you may need to do integration work, which is actually also what this particular Six of Pentacles is about. Because you may need to do integration work, I get a lot of vibes like this is your conscious and your subconscious. Does this make it easier to understand? That this is what you want, this is what your mind is telling you. But this is what your subconscious is doing and is telling you is safe and is going to get you what you need. Have you been around people before in your life that when you're you, or even when you're succeeding or you're on top of your game or you're showing the things you see that they may not even see or feel, you've been knocked back down? Or they tend to not give you as much love or acceptance or tell you something's wrong and it always makes you feel like this. So when you pulled your energy back in and you went to that safe role where you didn't allow yourself to shine, did something in your mind tell you then that you got more love, you got more attention, more people wanted to be around you? Whether it was to take care of you, whether it was to be like, oh, I'm sorry you're dealing with that, or whether it was just because your sun wasn't shining so bright that they were intimidated by it. So now they were okay being in your presence because you were like this, because they're like this, because they're not like this, they're like this, so they knocked you out of this to go back down to this. Are you ready for this? And are you ready for what comes along with this? Because this vibration can stay, but it cannot. As of right now, you're kind of like this. You're like, this is what's driving, and this is like, I want this, but this is running the show. So you kind of need to put it like this, where it's like, this is what you're going after. And you have this here as a tool if you need it. This is spiritual perseverance. This is being able to get through stuff and have your defenses if you need them. But you can't have this in the forefront. You've got to have this in the forefront. I could do a whole reading just off these two cards. This is going to suck because I've got a lot of cards. Pisces, your energy is so deep. Like, seriously. This is why a lot of people do this to you. This is why and I'm not trying to play a victim role. I get it, though. This is why you've gotten knocked down to this. But do you see it? Do you see it? Because that was before. It's still now, but it was before mostly. The reason it still is now is because you are allowing your reality to perpetuate this. Which means you're going to have to be okay with stepping up your game and being okay to shine like the sun and be okay if those people can't handle your brightness. You're going to have to be okay with your own ego not being able to handle this brightness. That is a real thing, let me tell you. I can tell you firsthand, that is real, okay? When you start realizing what your mind is doing to itself and you realize you've been doing this, and you start to pop to this mind frame, this guy, he gets pissed. Okay? So now what you need to do is take this own energy and use it against itself in a way. Instead of allowing this energy to hurt you and hold you back from this, allow this energy to transform itself into being something that helps you. Because it's going to get scared. It's going to try to hold you back. It's your inner child. This is inner child and shadow work all day long. This is your inner child that's going to be like, what are you doing? I put this together for you to keep us safe and to keep getting us attention, and you're destroying it. Because what worked for you at one time is no longer working for you anymore, and that is getting very clear. This is spiritual perseverance. But it means that you're going to have to use this own energy to have strength against it and your ego at the same time getting upset with you. And when it starts to feel this brightness, you start to get scared. And listen. If you take a dog or you take a child, like, I don't know if you've ever seen those, I don't remember the little girl's name. It was like back in the day when I was little, but she was like so, like always, it was a human, a little girl. I don't know if her name was Jeannie or what, but she was always like in a cage or in a box. Like, she was kept like a puppy mill dog, basically. And when they found her, when she was like so old, I don't remember. It was at least anywhere from like 10 to 12, maybe 8, I don't know. But when they found her, she didn't know how to react to that. She was so miserable in her conditions, but at the same time, that freedom, that lack of shackles scares the crap out of you. Because it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel normal. It's not the devil that you know. The vibration is different. What's gonna come? Being held down like this also has made it to where you haven't been able to spread your wings and gain more confidence. This is not confidence. Perseverance, yes, not confidence, not self-esteem. Which means that in your transition from this to this, you're gonna have to work a lot on your self-esteem, a lot on your chakras, especially your third chakra. Well, all of them though. Your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, security, creativity, self-esteem, confidence, will, heart, love. The vibration of love is one that can bust through any of this. And that, Pisces, is why you know you can do this. Because if anybody has that vibration of love and understands that, and I'm not trying to knock out other signs, everybody knows love. But Pisces, there are not many signs besides maybe Taurus or a couple others that can understand the degree and depths of love like you. That love that is so strong and deep that if you are not careful and you don't put a balance to it, you end up a martyr. You end up like this. There is going to be work that is going to have to be done to transform this to this. And it's going to have to take you choosing that, Pisces. It's going to take you choosing to let things go, to accept a vibration that feels different, and the knowingness of it. I get it now. The knowingness of it. To know that it's okay. Because it's just unknown and it's not comfortable to you yet. And you're learning to grow with it and evolve with it because it's taken you where you want to go anyways. It's just normally in a normal, balanced way, this would have been done when you were younger. But now you're having to do it. So in order to change this reality, which will eventually go also in your external, this is happening internally first. Yes, during this process, you are going to have this against other people. But you are also going to have it against yourself. And one thing I really have to say is, you know that love and compassion you guys have had all those years against the people who were like that with you, and you still stuck by their side, you still ride or died it because you understood. You saw the goodness in their heart, even if their actions didn't show it, even if they didn't see it, even if you saw through their fear. You saw their love even when they didn't and no one else could. I'm not saying that's healthy. I'm just telling you a perspective that I see. I would like you guys to remember to keep that perspective when this guy within yourself comes at you. You guys are Virgo's opposite sign. Virgo is very hard and critical on those they love around them. They are first and foremost the most critical on themselves, even more so than the people around them. There is no way you guys aren't going to pick up a piece of that being their opposite sign. The way I find that Pisces puts it out is that they are very critical. But unlike Virgo, they are not critical to those that are closest to them. They take all of that energy that Virgo puts on others and themselves, and they put it all on themselves. During this time, it is going to be really, 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 really important for you guys to step out of your mind, step out of yourself, and when you see this guy surfacing within you, remember to treat him the same way you would of those loved ones around you that didn't always understand you, that you feel in a way treated you like a doormat. Yet time and time again, you were there to help them and be there for them and love them. It is now time to take that same energy and apply it to yourself when this guy pops up during your transition. Because that is what's happening here. These energies are helping you transform from this to this. It's work. And a lot of times when you feel as deeply as you guys do, you're going to feel all those emotions while you're shifting. And, it's like a snake or anything that's transforming. It goes through very uncomfortable stages before, the freedom and the comes. But eventually, if you can find a way to get through that and step out of yourself enough to look at yourself, what you're doing, and have that compassion for yourself, you will get to this point. This point that Pisces loves and is always dreamed of feeling good about themselves, feeling seen, feeling respected, feeling abundant, feeling independent, feeling like you've done a lot of the work and having something to show for it. It did take a while with this little snail, but it's a process and you're going through it, so be patient and compassionate with it. Abundance is coming. And, you know, Pisces love their leisure time too. But here's you being able to be leisure and you're sitting over your cup. And this time, this level of love that you have, it doesn't burden you. It doesn't hold you back. You have control over this. You're straight up chilling. You know who to offer it to. You know who not to offer it to. You know how to offer it in a way where this is preserved, but yet you're there for them as well. You know now how to be there in ways for people that allows you to hold their hand through what they're going through and not take their pain anymore. Don't be sponges and take people's pain anymore. Love them through their own process. Don't take on their process. Because this is a gift of yours, not to give away, but to harness and protect so that you could preserve your energy to be there and be patient and compassionate for those who need your loving, healing energy. But this is what's coming. This level, like normally the Four of Cups is like, meh, like, no, this is one that's very much about serenity, peace, balance, knowing your inner power and your inner confidence. I'm going to wrap this up quickly. I'm literally still on your central cards. But this is like a very deep message going on here. This is your transformation that you are going through and helping you find this. What's crossing you on this is pretty much exactly what the heck I've just been saying. Eight of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. What have you been working on? What have you been putting your energy into? Cycles, like this guy's creating and doing the same thing over and over again. We're not talking about money, making money here, folks. And even if you are you doing what you love? Is it serving you? Or do you need to find a new way of making money? But I'm not going to focus on that. But some of you, it might be making money and you're really, this is telling you also to look within and go on your soul journey because something is trying to detour you and find a new passion and love in your life. Exactly like this Ace of Cups. This same cup she's sitting over, which also means stop ignoring it. Stop running from it and focusing on your outside world. Like Pisces, look within. Stop looking at other people. Stop trying to help other people. Stop trying to blame other people. Because at this point in your life, all you can do is look in the mirror. This is about cycles. Ending. Loving yourself, being there for yourself, allowing yourself to transform, and feeding yourself first. It's about letting your cup runneth over. What's in the foundation of this reading, also in your subconscious, is you have the Ace of Pentacles and you have the Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups could also be you, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I do a lot of times more see it as Cancer. So maybe something didn't work out with the Cancer, I don't know. Or maybe something with your family life didn't work out. Or you're really keeping a lot of emotions hidden. But either way, I more look at it like something in the past really did not work out. Some new beginning, something didn't pan out, or wasn't good, wasn't lucrative, didn't give back, wasn't what you thought it was going to be. And she's just sitting here like thinking about it, and it's in her head. And this is where her energy is going. This is why your cup is empty. Because she is daydreaming and thinking about this. And because she's doing that and she's stuck on that, which this is your more distant past. This is your foundation. While you're sitting here doing that, even if it's subconsciously, it is draining your energy. You're very, think about it, Pisces. She is focusing on this. where your attention goes is where your energy flows. Does it make sense to you guys yet right now? Why you guys are always sitting like this when this is what you're always feeding yourself? This Ace of Pentacles reversed? It's what you're sitting there thinking about all the time, and your energy is just leaking right out. Oh, the cards to clarify too, the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups is the Five of Cups and the Empress. So this is clarifying what's crossing you. So this is you, instead of harping over and over again on something that didn't work out, and you doing the same cycle and doing the, even if you're not, I'm not focusing on what didn't work out. You are subconsciously. You're focusing on something in the past that left you sad, like this Five of Cups. But what this is asking you to do, like in this Five of Cups, she's sitting here, like kind of like, like in here, where it's like almost like at this point, she's not burdened by it anymore. She either sees it for what it was, or she's not bothered, she's let it go, or she might even see where this loss or hurt has benefited her life now. And now she has chosen to stop focusing on it and pop into her Empress vibe. And that's actually what I was going to say earlier was, I haven't gotten to your card and your crowning thoughts card yet, but you have the High Priestess. And the vibe that I very much feel from all this is the Empress vibe. I feel like it's the High Priestess, because when you go in order of the major arcana, the Empress is after the High Priestess. I feel like you know or feel what's coming. It's just you're still in the process of manifesting that and transitioning. And this is where you're going. But you're still in this process of working this out, of letting this old way of hurt, feeling, and thinking go. And once you can turn your back on that or accept it or see it for what it is, like I like Oprah's definition of forgiveness, you know, it's letting go of the hope that the past didn't happen or that it happened differently. Because it did happen. You can't change that. So when you can really get to that point and let it go, like what does it have? Like what is the point of harping on it? And that's really hard, I think, for Pisces too, because they're run by Neptune. Which is a very dreamy, illusionary type of planet, which is not good when you're thinking about things that aren't good for you. But it's really good in the fact that Pisces is one of the greatest signs that can bring hope to this world, that can bring, faith and love back to this world. I look at Pisces in a way, like when you look at Pandora's box, all the stuff that came out was all the things that make this world just, greed and the darkness and whatever. But the last thing that came out of Pandora's box was hope. It's the thing that made everything that came out of Pandora's box and influenced this world seem like it has a chance. Was the hope, the last thing that came out. Pisces is the last in the zodiac. And they are one of the biggest signs that is all about hope and love and compassion, and that taking the inspiration of a Gemini, but yet adding just that depth of love to it. That love that can get through anything. And that's what you need to have for yourself. I have my clearest moments. Like I said, my Venus is in Pisces when Neptune is retrograde. So I can actually see more clearly. Because I am in such always a dreamy land. Like, I can write the most amazing romance novels. It's crazy. My thoughts are like always sitting in like the Notebook type stuff. But you've got to see this for what it was and really take a good hard look at it. Let it go. Appreciate it. See what it was, what place it had in your life, what it showed you, and then let it go, release it, and move forward and pop into your Empress status that you're walking into. You know, that's what's crossing you along with this Eight of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. Letting the cycle go. What's in your recent past is you have the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. So I don't know if energies have really been coming through to make you start to really reevaluate what you've been putting your energy into. You know, you've been really patient on things, but you're really starting to see what is giving back to me, what is being a good investment for me. Do I want to keep investing in what I was investing in, or do I want to try something new? Because what I'm really trying to get at is this Ten of Pentacles here. Hopefully where everybody's on the same page and with like minds and looking at the same thing and all having the level of enlightenment. But if not, I'm trying to get to the Ten of Pentacles. And I think you're really starting to stop and reevaluate what you've been doing and what you want to do now. Is it giving back to you? If not, what do you need to do in order to do that? What do you need to change? What's crowning you, or in your conscious thoughts, is you have the High Priestess and you have the Knave of Wands. So you figured something out. Something that you may or may not be telling people. I got, when I first laid this card down, there's a lot of downloads. And I don't know if a lot of other signs have been getting it, probably. But I know I've been getting a lot of downloads, a lot of creative downloads of just different creative things that I've really been wanting to do. I think this is also a connection with your higher self. You're probably growing and aligning a little bit more to your path. But something like you really know, but like I said, when I first laid this, I really got a lot of new downloads. And you have the Knave or Page of Wands, so on where to go with this new beginning. Something that's going to be a new, lucrative, creative, new... It could be new life, it could be new project, something new that you now know what you want to put your energy into. And grow, that's actually going to give back to you and keep you in this state. Or actually move you to the Nine of Pentacles, or even better, the Empress state. What's in your likely future is you have the Ten of Swords. So this could be the end of a cycle of a thought process. So, yay. Also the end of the hurt. You know, you're letting this go. It might have been something, either something or some type of thought process that you were really committed to, trying to protect and keep around you, but it really wasn't in your best interest. So this could be a person, a situation, a thought process, whatever, but it's whatever it was that was holding you back. And you really tried to keep it around you. Like, you really tried to stay committed to this. You tried. Like, you really, really tried. But Yeah, I mean, it's something that was really important to you. But, and there might even be an argument or something that comes through it because you have the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands. So, I mean, this could be a type of King of Wands character, you know, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, but that doesn't matter. It could cause an argument between the two of you and create a type of ending. Or this may just be you coming in with this Knight of Swords energy and coming in and battling that part of yourself. It could be both. And you coming into this King of Wands energy, you know, now being a little bit more chill and relaxed, and now knowing what you want. Now knowing how to manifest what you want. But, you know, this could be also an ending with somebody around you who possibly, I don't want to get too much into a soulmate side of this, but somebody who was just, the only energy they ever put in was to run their mouth or to argue. Other than that, they just sat content and waiting for you to serve them. You know, if there was communication, it was just possibly fighting or whatever. But I do think this is also an ending to that part within yourself. That part that conflicts and fights with you. And letting that part go with the Ten of Swords to find this part within you. Tell me about the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands. It's something, it is something that you really wanted, you really wished for. You really wanted it to change. You might have even been wishing for it from afar. But it's just been a burden. It might have even been, you know, karmic for you. It doesn't even fully have to matter. But either way, you really, really, really hoped and wished for this so much to a point that you were really not willing to look at it properly. So much so that it kept you in a way isolated from everything that was good for you. And that could literally be by your own doing. I'm not even saying that that person made you do that. I mean, you were just that focused and that into it. It was that important to you and into everything around your mind and the way you think and what you wanted. And I just don't think you were thinking properly about it. You weren't seeing things correctly, thinking that they were getting better or hoping they'd get better, and you weren't seeing properly, and you really saw the final, you know, decision. You know, it might have even been your ego that was holding you on to that, but the decision was finally made to go a different route because it wasn't what you thought it was. I don't know if it ever will be. I mean, nothing is ever final, but as of right now, the energy is not, and you realize that and you let it go. It's the end of that mental thinking. What causes that? What causes the Ten of Swords? What causes the Ten of Swords is for you to realize this. Like, this guy's waiting. The moon, he's waiting. You know, it could be like a lover, a female lover, but it could also be deceit. Like, you to stop waiting on this and deceiving yourself. Like, move forward. Did I just put that? Move forward and do your inner work. It's going to be up to you. Either that or... Oh. I think it is your decision that causes it. It might be a level of deceit that comes and shows it to you, though. Like something may come and show this to you. But in your likely outcome, you have the Tower and the Two of Pentacles. So some of you may realize that you've been waiting on somebody who's actually been like juggling or not really fully into you. Or like you just made this decision and then the Tower came because you finally made the decision. Like you actually made the decision. And you were done putting mental energy into this. But let's wait till we get to that Tower energy to go into it. But there is a change coming. How you see yourself is you have the King of Swords and you have the Eight of Swords. You're making a decision because you are tired of being stuck. You are tired of being here unnecessarily. I hope you are. If you're not, I hope you take on this energy. Because this energy is available to you. It's up to you whether or not you take it. But you are making the decision. Because you're tired of being stuck. Like you realize, like look at her. She doesn't even have anything holding her down or whatever. Like she can totally get out of this. Not only is there a sword there to cut it, but I mean she's not really tied in a way where she can't even get up. So what makes you make this decision? I think you just really start to see things. I mean, maybe it's, yeah. Like you cut it out. Like you realize it's an obstacle to your growth. It's just becoming so obviously burdensome. Maybe it's because Neptune is retrograde that you guys are really starting to see things, but it's becoming so painfully obvious that something's holding you back. And I just don't think you can like do it anymore. I think you just decide to let it go. And I may not be able to zone in on it more too because this is a general reading. So, what's in your environment or how others see you is you have the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So I do think that obviously this might be this other person's situation or whatever. But you know, they may just be really worried about themselves or into sex or whatever. They may be moving on, or they may see you as this. Like really coming into your power, going after a new opportunity, not looking at them as a new opportunity, possibly not even wanting to have sex with them or whatever if you want to look at this Ace of Wands as sex, but you're just not focused on them. Like this Queen of Wands is focused somewhere else. Like she's got her own opportunity that she's working on, not this one. But at the same time, this is yours. Like you could split it and keep it together. You are mentally moving on. Six of Swords. Some of you might even be moving, but you're moving to something else. Let me get the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, like you're moving on to things, gaining a lot of money. You're moving on to things that are going to be prosperous for you and make you happy. And they see that and they know that. It could be someone else in your environment too, so apply that as necessary. I more see this as they see you in that way. But if not, if somebody else is doing this, it will be like if they're moving on and going after some type of other new beginning, it will be the catalyst that pushes you into this energy to do all this stuff I'm talking about. So either way, and it could be both, whether it's them or you. Who knows? You guys could be karmically meant to have played off of each other in this way. Where they were meant to move on and they went and did their thing, and then moving on pushed you into doing your thing. Which is very likely that you guys were supposed to come together and go. To like build strength. this person or situation, at the very least, was meant to help you, push you out of one cycle and push you into the next. To help show you and push you into a level of healing and balance for yourself. I'm not sure if it's going to be just through you accepting it, or whether they really have to get to a level, you know, of something like or deceit to do that. But at the very least, a huge part of their mission in your life, they or the situation or whatever, is really to push you to the next. So really just try to go with the flow on this. I'll be right back. Okay. So, and it may not even be for some of you, somebody like leaving your life. It could just literally, people are seeing you going through things that you're like coming into your power and you're passionate about and you're working on, and you're mentally moving on from things that were holding you back. Or it could be you or somebody else moving on from something. Let's see. Most of you, it's probably going to be moving on from somebody who wasn't good. Yeah, like, it's just time to move on. It hasn't really been good. Whatever this is, thought process, something within yourself, something externally to you, and you're moving on from it. You're taking back your power, and you've got this creative, passionate charge running between yourself or within yourself. What's in your hopes and fears is you have the King of Cups kind of like off on his own. And then you have the King of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Lover's card. So, I mean, there's so many things. That could be. Also clarifying that, you have the Ace of Wands with the Emperor. So, I mean, you do have the Ace of Wands over here in your environment and with the Queen of Wands. So, I mean, it could be an Aries or Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. Maybe somebody who's just focused on sex, or they're not focused on a new beginning or a commitment like you are. It's just not good either way, and I think you're moving on from it or the situation. But this is kind of clarifying it. Like this Emperor who he's off like in his own little world, feeling like he's above everything else, spaced out, like not engaged. He may just either want just sex, or he's focusing on building his own new beginning, or you may be focusing on your new beginning. It could be both. And what's around him looking is, you know, he's got this little thing. It's a little unicorn. It almost looks like a little Pegasus. Baby Pegasus. I don't know, clearly you could see it. And the Empress also has that, but hers is more grown up. So, I mean, some of you could be sad too, because who you're wanting is with somebody else, like has a family with somebody else. Maybe that's what you have to let go of, is the hurt over them being with somebody else. or having a family or some type of foundation with somebody else. Just as a thing coming in, because I saw the two. But it could also be you wanting this Emperor to want this new beginning with you. Like wanting him to grow. Like you've already been sitting here growing. Like your Pegasus has grown. It's bigger. Wanting him to maybe mature. And start to see you. And want to grow with you. Hopefully beyond just sex, but this hope of yours is part of what's holding you back. I don't know if it's real or not. Like, it's making you anxious. You have the mice and the scythe or scythe. I think it's scythe. Needing to cut it out. It's a wound of yours. You have Chiron on that card, which is the wounded healer. It's a wound that will never heal. Like, I don't know if this is your ego. I don't know if this is something you feel like you lost. It has something to do with a wound that's festering and annoying at you. And it's holding you back. Why? Is this part of what's making you feel like you're not good enough? It's bringing you grief and adversity. Something about some type of connection, whether it's a person or something else, or something that happened in your past, is really affecting you and holding you back. It's holding you back from becoming the Empress yourself. It's feeling like you don't see I think that's a big part of it too. You don't see yourself as the Empress that you are. Because somebody else doesn't see you as the Empress that you want them to see you as. And you're holding your level of value and happiness and possibilities of abundance in this world all based around this person, who I have to say is coming up as somebody who feels like nobody is on their level. So it's not just you that they're making feel this way. Nobody is as good as them. They very much probably have like a God complex. Nobody's as good as them. They're distant from everybody. They're above everybody. They're in the clouds. Their heads in the clouds. While at the same time, look at their Pegasus. Nothing against their little Pegasus or anything, but look at their Pegasus. It's a little baby Pegasus. It's a childlike, immature Pegasus. Look at your Pegasus. Yours is more grown. It's more evolved. You actually have the empire around you. You are actually more grounded. You are actually more in your stuff. It's actually kind of funny, actually, because the Empress, which is the feminine, most of the time, is usually the one who's more on a higher spiritual level, but it's showing up here as being the more grounded one. Where the Emperor, who's normally the masculine, he's showing up more higher. Where normally they're the more grounded. It's like you're trying to ground things. I mean, you could be in your opposite energy, which is also what the your spiritual Six of Pentacles thing is coming up as another thing of balance. You needing to balance your masculine energies. You Pisces might be too in your receptive energy. And you may need to stop. I don't want to turn this into soulmate reading, but this is very, it needs to come out. You need to stop grounding this connection, or trying to ground this connection. Like, it seems like he's trying, I don't even know what he's doing. He may be trying to keep you from grounding it and from keeping to make it real, which you're taking as something against your value. Like, why? Am I not good enough to ground this in reality? Am I not good enough in your eyes to make this real? And it really has nothing to do with you. It's him. It's who he is. He's always up there right now. He's like that with everybody. Nobody's on his level. He doesn't want to ground anything. He wants to be off by himself and have things just like so. Which has to do with because he needs a level of emotional maturity. His ego is really running him. But you're running your value on him, on what he thinks. Why? Like, look at the difference between these two. Like, even his eyes are all like, he can't even see. Like, they're blinded out, kind of. You're so grounded and bigger and beautiful and abundant. He's just, like, out there. Like, he's not ready to see anybody. When he does, if he ever does, he will see you. He doesn't see anybody right now. He's off somewhere else. He might even be trying to really figure himself out. But you're holding your value on somebody who doesn't see you because you want them to see you, waiting for somebody else to tell you your worth and to tell you that you're okay and to tell you that you're strong enough and you're good enough and you're deserving. You're waiting on their message, on their love, on all of that. You're waiting on them to see you and want to start a new beginning with you. So this is somebody in your environment too, because they're not looking at you. You look at them as like not looking at you and not a new beginning with you and moving on. And chances are, because you're becoming a certain way, they're looking at you in exactly the same way. This may literally be like a mirroring effect that's going on, which is why you have the Lovers coming up so much too. Somebody's really in their emotions and somebody's really in the earthly realm, which is really weird because I really feel like this King of Cups is you. So it could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Normally it's a Scorpio. But it could be you, especially considering the eyes are open. You know, there may be more of a level of trying to have more of an emotional balance. Like, even though your emotions are a little tipsy-turvy, you're trying to remain stable. But it's like you're looking at all of this. Like, you're looking at, I think this Emperor is coming up, which is funny, actually, because you have the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups. You have the Emperor, the Empress, the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands. Right? You have the only ones we don't have, and you have the King of Swords. We don't have the Queen of Swords. Crap. And we don't have the Queen of Swords, and we don't have the Queen of Pentacles. But I feel like we do. Like, I feel like this Nine of Pentacles actually is like the Queen of Pentacles energy. And we kind of do have it a little bit because the King of Swords really probably is coming up as the Queen of Swords too. But either way, there's a lot of couple and mirroring vibes here, masculine and feminine. So there's very much a balance that's needed of the masculine and feminine energy within yourself and around you. But it's funny, actually, though, because he's coming up as the King of Pentacles. And in this King of Pentacles, it looks like his eyes are closed. So he's focused more. So you guys are kind of on the same level. You're coming up always on the same level. Like Empress, Emperor, King, Queen, King, King. Or you could be this king. It doesn't really matter. But they're coming up as the King of Pentacles in this line. They're focused on the earthly possessions. Both of you are trying to manifest balance internally and externally. Tell me the Lover's card. Both of you are trying to maintain balance right now, internally and externally. The thing is, what it looks like to you and the way you're going about it or wanting to go about it are different. Like, you guys are not on the same page right now. This sucks because this is pretty much like a soulmate reading, but there is a level of commitment that they do not want. Whether it's just that, it may be you, but I don't think it's just you. I don't think it's anybody right now. I think this person they're possibly really lost or really confused or just wanting to be on their own, do their own thing, figure their own thing out. They're trying to figure out who they are. What do they want? Where do their loyalties lie? What is important to them? The only thing they're seeing right now is their path. And I'm not going to say it doesn't include you, but it's funny though, because they're coming up as being so, up, which is where normally the feminine is. They normally have more of the higher spiritual realm. But I almost get this vibe with this Emperor, like it may not even just be up. Like they're trying to get away from everything. Anything that's earthly, grounded, physical. They do not want to build physical stuff right now. If they do, it is pentacles. They view the pentacles and the earthly realm in that way as creating their balance and stability. And they also want it to where things come to them. Like they will take action if they have to, but they want things to come to them. They are very much it's just not a good place right now for what you're trying to manifest compared to what they are. And you're looking at things more from an emotional standpoint, which is actually funny because you as the Empress show up more in a grounded way. But that's also what's crossing you too. So it may be that you're either trying to ground this connection and you shouldn't be, or you need to, you need to ground yourself more. Like, and not be so emotional. Try to find more of that balance. Don't ground this relationship trying to ground yourself. Maybe take a little bit of advice from this guy and don't go so isolated like he is, but he's kind of doing the opposite of you in a way. Like it's like you're trying to ground and pull everything to you where he's trying to push everything away. And it's really about the balance. So he needs to bring a little bit more to him to balance himself out. And he go through, these rough stages too that, you're going to have to go through. He's trying to avoid it by being all up here. And you're going to have to try to let some of that go and be more in yourself and grounded and doing your own thing. and go through that stuff all in the same. Like, let that go, and he's going to have to learn the other. Like, he's going to have to learn, like, wow, I completely isolated myself and pushed all important people away from me, and you're going to have to realize to respect their path on that. If that's what they feel like they need to grow, you have to respect that and let them go through it. And you have to feel secure and strong enough and go through your own stuff to go on your own path, even if it doesn't include them, and go through the growing process of what you have to go through with that. I mean, it is going to be hard. It is going to be a burden, but this is a growth process for both, and it's what's needed. And trying not to judge. Like, as of right now, both your paths are going in different ways. This is really what I feel. Whether this is a job, whether it's a person, a situation, whatever. Because as of right now, what they see as home and comfort and stability to them looks different to both of you guys. And you're both on different parts of your growing journey. It is helping you build this lover's vibe within yourself. But it could also help you to bring this vibration with somebody else externally. Maybe someone else has other lessons, you know. Don't get too bogged down too if they meet somebody else, because that person they come across may need to teach them things that you can't. And either you guys, this was your contract to come together, do this, and push you to your greatness and them to their journey. Or even though it may not look like it on a surface level, and the journeys look like they're going apart, you still have the Magician and the Lover's card. So you are hoping to manifest you two coming together. So I can't really say whether that's a type of prediction because it's in your hopes and fears. But I could say at this part of your journey right now, it is meant to bring you guys apart because you have growth and things to do and to learn how to find your wings, expand them, and let them fly. And you cannot do that with this person around. And really, in all actuality, they can't do it with you around either. But the vibe I'm getting from this is that they're willing to do it. Like, they're the ones more willing to separate and go do their thing because they if you really want to get technical, they're actually a little bit more in their High Priestess vibe than you are. Because they're just not bringing in enough of their, or as much of their emotions that's complicating things. And don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean they're more advanced or better than you. They're on the opposite end of the spectrum. So you feel it too, just like they do, but it's just harder for you because you're more in your feelings about it. They've got a little bit more of that closed down because that's their lesson. Their lesson is to have their heart chakra open up and become more emotional. Yours is to be able to reel it in. It's the balance, literally, of it. It's for you to more reel it in and know when to go do your thing, because you can't always be sitting there with your heart wide open. You can't do that. It's not healthy. It's not a good balance. Then you end up like this. When really what you're aiming towards is to go like this, which is where he's at. He's sitting in the grounded pentacly energy. Even though he's coming across this way, he's coming across this way because he's focused on this grounded pentacly energy. And he needs to be distant in order to stay in that energy. Because if he starts to delve into these emotionally energies that you're in, it's going to mess up. It's going to mess up his pentacly materializing energy. Which is what's going on with you. You know, you're trying to manifest over here. I mean, on one hand, you're like, no, I'm trying to manifest my life, when really what you're trying to manifest is him, and you should be manifesting, or whatever the situation is, you should be manifesting yourself and growing yourself, because that's what he's doing. And also, I don't know, if this is some type of divine masculine or feminine or twin flame or whatever energy, if you do it, then he's going to. But he's going to go first. And a lot of times I think the masculine actually gets a bad rep for that. Like, they don't care, blah, blah, blah. I don't always agree with that. I think a lot of times the masculine, luckily, because of the way they are, it's like they always give the feminines the thing of leading the way. And they do. Like, but I feel like they both do. I think the feminines lead the way in showing like what self-love and what value looks like, and kind of going more towards the higher realms, and how to be treated. But I think that they also lead the way in their actions because they do push the feminines towards doing their stuff. And I don't think a lot of masculines get enough credit for that. I think a lot of times they kind of get, pushed and harped on for that. And I'm not saying this to be like, oh, and then wait. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. Like, it still hurts and sucks. But don't have this or a victim mentality about it, because this is an energy to be utilized. Like, because if you did manifest this together, whatever you're trying to do right now, it's not ready, and it's not going to work. It's not the right energy. It's not the right vibration. So he or she or whatever it is actually helping you and giving you a leg up to help you derail your energy so that you can go and focus on the things you need to in order to find your wings, expand them, and learn how to fly and become who you are and do your thing. And so that he can also do his. I look at it in a lot of ways like the masculine is kind of the gatekeeper to the 3D, and to ascending to the 4D or the 5D or whatever. And through these actions that they actually get put down for, a lot of times, they're actually holding open the door. Like, even though it comes across, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. This is the way I feel about it. Even though it comes across as disrespectfully, it's almost like in a spiritual way, like they're holding the door open for you. Like, their actions of this is holding the door open for you respectfully. Telling you to move through and go learn how to fly. Whether they catch up to you or not, spiritually they're telling you, go learn how to fly. Like, don't let me hold you back. Because even if I don't show you, I see you as this Empress. They know you're the Empress. And if they don't, they will. But spiritually, they do. And they're doing this to hold the door open for you to find this. Because they can't see you as an Empress if you don't see yourself as the Empress. Remember, things mirror us. So don't get too bogged down about this, because what they're doing is actually in a way holding that door open for you. That door of stability, that door of abundance, that door of your Empress vibe. I know I'm kind of romanticizing a crappy situation. I mean, I told you I have Venus in Pisces, so... But still, I mean, it's the way I see things. It's... You just can't stay on that and be like, oh, and then wait, because that's kind of like what you're doing then is just leaving them there with the door open, and they're just like... Can you please move through so I can shut the door? Or they're gonna shut the door with you being in the middle of it, and then it's gonna hurt, and they're gonna be like, screw this, hopefully she gets it, and they're gonna walk away and focus on themselves, and then it's gonna hurt even worse, and then you've got the choice whether to back up out of it or go forward. And I mean, I don't know how many times they're gonna hold the door open for you before they give up. Before they give up on the hope of you doing what you need to do. But that doesn't really matter. Either way, you're hoping on being seen. Is this going to be manifested? I don't know. There sure is a whole lot of divine feminine, divine masculine energy here going on, though. But in your likely outcome, you have the Tower. So in your likely future, you have the Ten of Swords. Your likely outcome, you have the Tower, and you have the Two of Pentacles. And this is about a balance between opposing forces. So it could be between you and them. I also get this also as like the balance and the connection between spiritual and physical. Like this is spiritual, this is physical. And it might also even be a gift from the divine. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't feel this is a bad thing. I'm sure there is a little bittersweetness to it. I do feel a good vibe. Tell me about the Tower. I have this feeling that things may get a little bit rough, but then that creates order. And it might be, I feel like this is internally, and I feel like this is externally. Could be an awakening type vibe. Because there's a lot of awakening type things, at the very least perspective change, but clarifying this Tower and the Two of Pentacles, and this Two of Pentacles to me is different than the normal ones. It's not really about juggling, it is about balance, but it's like the balance between opposing forces, so it's more about balance, spiritual, physical, opposing forces. You and this person very much right now are opposing forces. But to clarify that, you have the Heart, and then you have like the Rider, which is, this is about messages. Someone's coming towards. Again, here's another Lover's vibe card. Tell me about the Rider. It's almost like once you see and come into your power, they're like, wait, where'd she go? She or he? Tell me about the clouds. Ugh, can't reach it. Yeah, like it brings good things. Like, I think if you go and do your stuff, like, they then see you. Like exactly like I said, like, you guys have to see and do your stuff. If you want them to see you, you've got to go do your stuff and see yourself. And then they're off doing their thing. Then they feel kind of lonely. Things start to kind of like, for them. They wake up and realize, crap, exactly like I said earlier, this is kind of lonely. I need to push them away. Where'd they go? And it's almost like they start to, like, miss you or wonder, what, this sucks. This is supposed to be a soul journey reading. I mean, it's cool, but it creates a balance between you guys. I think mostly internally. But I think because it creates the balance internally, it then creates it externally. What has shifted? I think a lot of you go on and do, you know, your life mission, your path, the stuff like this in your mind, which just could be this person too. Yeah. But I think a lot of you guys are dropping things. Things that either want to get away from you and you're like, well, go then, or that aren't working for you. But I think your perception in this changes. Instead of what you guys were focusing on manifesting, I think you guys now know what you want to manifest. And you're gonna end the cycle of it and focus on things that are more successful and actually give back to you. And focus on things and change your perception. Like here's, again, your nine of wands, you have the hangman, perception, patience, and like you don't want to be stuck anymore. Like you realize you've been leaving yourself sitting in this position between defensiveness, being wounded, inhaling, and anxiety. And you're just like, why? Why? Why am I doing that? I'm going to focus on things that are going to give back to me and have more of a balance. And when you get more in that actual energy, then either this person or somebody else with that energy or something else with that energy will come to you guys. And it'll bring you, you know, here's the 10 of Cups, 5, a balance, maybe even a balance between the two of you in the same cup. Because now you're protecting and going after what is good for you, what you want. You're creating, you're developing based on your new perception change, and you actually do pop into the 9 of Pentacles energy again, and then again the World card. Oh, and here's the Queen of Pentacles. And you're moving on. It frees you. What you want. 7 of Cups, 5 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. This whole process, from you choosing this path, it shows you something you didn't see before. Just the mere fact, like just the fact that you are legit making a choice. So, okay, again, like a lot of times 2 of Pentacles could be about weighing it up, making a choice. That you are like legit making a choice to choose you and to choose a path that gives back to you and to grow, and stop focusing on something that is not given back to you. Not only changes your vibration to help you go into that vibration of allowing things to come to you and not have to be resisting them off. Because think about it, you're viewing him this way, but here's your energy too. Like you're just as resistant as he is. And it allows things to actually come to you. But it allows your stuff to shift. And then when that starts to shift, what you see and what comes up through shifting from this to this, it really shows you something about yourself. And it could be this person or situation that helps you do that. But at the very least, between this person or situation or your shift, it really shows you something about yourself that you didn't see before. Not only about your power and all that, but just something that was more like in your shadows. So I'm going to try to hurry this up. I have a couple things to read. You have Autumn, Watchtower of the West. Look deep within to determine what really matters. The old ways that you viewed yourself and others are falling away. Don't let your sensitivity get the better of you. Time for some peace and inner work. Time for you. Spirit's helping you do this. Initiating respect. Union within yourself. Divine Feminine. You're feminine with your own masculine. Bringing you security. And bringing out anything that does not bring you balance or security. Or fulfillment. Like you realizing that it's your responsibility and within your grasp to go after the things that you want. Your happiness is within your control. All this time you've been leaving it in the control of other people, and I think you finally realize that and take back your power and your control. And you release the cycle. You cleanse, you purge yourself, you clear, and you rebuild your foundation. Based on you now seeing what's going on inside of you. And I do think this dedication does bring back, because I think this Watchtower of the South, the summer, is about the rekindling of a love. So it might actually stabilize that a little bit, but if not, that balance it creates within you, like I said, it does create outwardly. So don't even expect who or what it is, but it brings it. Challenge your perception. Again, another thought or another thing. You're going to be changing the way you look at things. Share your thoughts. Vocalizing. Respect your boundaries. There is change coming. Embrace the feminine. But you do have some perception changes coming for sure. Growing up, wanting to grow and experience rejection of perpetual youth. Painting the roses red, covering up errors. Learning to create what you desire. This is very much about you growing your perception and seeing something differently. And not walking on eggshells anymore, taking up for others' errors. Don't do things that don't feel good to you. Like, do you, you be you. And if others don't like it, then whatever. Like, stop covering up your own errors. Stop feeling like you have to make others happy. Stop covering up their errors. Just be, grow, and learn to do you. Like, stop trying to be in vibration with something else that you want to try to make it to where that person accepts you to uphold your value. It's like you're basing your own value based on a person who's not even in alignment with who you are. No wonder you're not going to feel secure about yourself. They're not like you. They're not in the same vibration as you. You're literally asking somebody who is not, why do you view them above you? You're asking them to uphold and determine your value and your abilities, your happiness, your gifts in this life. They're not you. They don't know you. They don't even see you. How are they going to be able to tell you your worth when they're not even seeing you? Because they can't even see themselves. They can't even see out of their eyes. His eyes are white. They don't see properly right now. You have to know this within your high priestess vibe. You've got to know this and see this. And even if when he can see, he still can't determine your worth. He, she, it, they're not you. They don't have what you have. They don't see what you see. Everybody has different gifts, and there's a reason for this. Everybody can't have the same gifts. But it's like determining your health based on a world that's sick. And I'm not saying this person is sick. I'm just saying you have to really start and ask yourself, what about this person determines your worth, determines your ability of being strong enough to get through things, of being worthy enough to have happiness in your life? Or is it not even that they're worthy of that? Is it just that they uphold this reality for you? What would that mean? What would you have to go through? Who would you be if they weren't there to uphold this reality for you? You would be this person. You would be this person. So you have to ask yourself, why do you not want that? Because if you choosing this person creates you to hold on to this illusion, something about you wants this and not this. Why? That's what you're going to have to get into, and that's what's going to be shown to you when you say, I don't know why, but I don't want this anymore. I don't want this anymore. I want someone who's here with me. Even if I have to be by myself and feel like this right now. I don't want that anymore. If it changes and comes around, whatever, but I don't want that. And from you making that hard knock decision and you choosing to walk that other path, that question that I just asked of why you've been choosing this over this is going to come up. It's going to be shown to you. More than that is going to be shown to you, but that answer is going to be shown to you. You don't even have to dive to find it. All you have to do is start doing something different to find it. It's not going to be 100% easy. It's not going to be 100% pleasant. But neither is what you're doing right now. You might as well go through something a little bit unpleasant in order to get to this than going through a bunch of unpleasantness just to stay here. Rip the Band-Aid off. That might be what I call your video or something like that. Rip the Band-Aid off. Let this wound air out and heal. So that, I don't know. I can't think of anything beautiful to put with that. So that you could just be healed and move forward. Why are you picking at this wound? Let it air out. Let it heal. Because let's face it. I mean, if you even want to like put a romantic spin on it like Pisces like to do, it doesn't go away. It just becomes a scar. It heals. You'll never forget it. It will always be there. It just becomes healthier. If you constantly are picking this wound, it becomes more aggravated, it becomes worse, and it just becomes not good. And it ends up tearing you apart, and it will be to your detriment. But if you let it go, it will still always be there. It'll just be in a healthier form. Whether it literally comes back in a healthier form, or whether you just have those memories that sometimes make you smile, or some of those memories that again make you smile because they make you remember why you are who you are right now and what you went through to get there. And that at least now you can look back and smile and not look back and want to cry. Let it heal. It's not going away. Because that's the part of you that's going to tell you that, is not to let that part die. And when that part comes up and gets really angry at you, remind it that it's not dying. It's healing. And it's changing. And just let it calm itself down. And I have to learn like breathing techniques or something. Like, if you need help with this, let me know, because I know. Okay. But you will gain a certain enlightenment. A certain slant of light. This is about gaining enlightenment. I might read both of these to you real quick. You have Haughty Mermaid. It's about taking a hard look in the mirror. It's time to step back and take a long, hard look in the mirror, literally and figuratively. Here's Haughty Mermaid. What are you saying to the world? Does your outward appearance reflect the inner you? Are you portraying yourself the way you want to be seen by others? Do you appear professional, unique, mature, quirky, or is your look just convenient? This is a good time to update your personal style with a revamped wardrobe, new hairstyle, or perhaps sharp new accessories. This is also the time to think about your body language. Do you come across as open and friendly, sarcastic and stuck up, frumpy and sloppy? Pay attention to your posture and physique, as well as your facial expressions. Smile a little bit more and great things may open up to you. And then a certain slant of light, illumination is coming. Darkness and confusion are commonplace in this world, but do not worry. Illumination is coming in the form of a new way of viewing your environment or situation. Some call it divine insight and others enlightenment. Either way, be prepared for a new perspective. A sudden shift in thinking will arise from the uncovering of unknown facts, opinions, or desires. These new points will help you understand where you are now and help you to answer some of the questions that have been gnawing at you for some time. Be prepared, though. The illumination may be subtle and easy to miss. Keep your eyes open and your spirit curious so that you do not miss out on the illumination you have been waiting for so long. And I think why it's easy to miss is because, for one, you got to pay attention to it and not let your old ways get in the way. But for two, you got to be willing to do something different, and you got to be willing to sacrifice and go through this and rip the Band-Aid off to see it. If you don't, you may not see it, or it may take like something really big in order to see it. So I'll read some parts of this six. This is one of your spiritual cards. This is what this Six of Pentacles looks like, Six of Stones. You have the Tower underneath that. So some type of disruption, change of thinking or disruption is coming. It is bringing you balance, though. I mean, you have a bunch of things showing you that with the Ten of Swords, Knight of Swords. So it could be an argument. It could be just a change in thought, a realization, something changing, something being added or removed from your life. But then you have the King, this King of Wands. He's happy and balanced. Two of Pentacles up there, happy, balanced. Unconditional love, known as charity. Cards numbered 6 in tarot imply the reconciliation or integration of opposites, as well as the restoration of balance and harmony. The opposites in the Six of Stones are the fruits born by giving and receiving. The gold-colored stones are known as heliodors, the gifts of the sun. The green stones are emeralds, symbolizing the vitality of the human heart, and caritas, the gift of giving. Both gemstones are a type of beryl, B-E-R-Y-L, a talisman closely associated with higher consciousness and healing. They connect to the energy of the third chakra at the solar plexus. This is the third chakra of our natural gifts, the gifts of self-esteem, willpower, and inner knowing. The third chakra is unblocked by receiving the healing energy of the heliodors, which I think are like these things. Emeralds connect to the energy of the fourth or heart chakra. This is the chakra of selflessness, charity, and the higher self. The fourth chakra is unblocked by giving the healing energy of compassion through acts of loving kindness to others. In the tree of life, these two forms of pranic energy flow from the universe to the tree's branches and down to the roots through the trunk and then out again. With us, prana flows from the universe to the crown chakra, down through the heart and solar plexus, and then returns to the universal source. This nature of giving and receiving pranic energy is karmic. The more we give, the more we receive, and the more we grow in spiritual awareness. In a reading, the Six of Stones draws attention to healing through giving, and to charity, self-acceptance, and the acceptance of others. It may also spark an interest in chakra clearing and alignment. Prana should flow freely through each of us, just as it does through the Celtic tree of life. And you have very much, you're being guided through this. You are being inspired. There's emotional breakthroughs coming for you. You're going to find out really what's in your heart's desire. You have opportunities and blessings coming. And you're going to have some, it could just be sex, but some type of sexual desire or creative desire. Some of you might be having literally like Kundalini rises or awakenings throughout this. But that sexual energy is creative energy. So some of you, your libido might just shoot up. But it's also creative energy, so don't just, you could have sex or whatever, but create things, use it, inspire, with it. But I feel like a lot of Pisces right now are really being a lot more playful and looking at their goals. Like they're really keeping more of an open mind about what do they want and what are their priorities. And you could be learning to like manifest things. I mean, this is like your higher self or something really like downloading things to you while you're sleeping. Playfulness. Play with a child. Children are your greatest teachers. Like this is like taking on the heart of a child. Set a goal, write it down, and release the outcome. Small steps make a big difference. Priorities. Get your priorities straight. When you know it's important, saying no gets much easier. She's got an abalone shell. It's like she's doing some type of like magic. I don't know, maybe some of you might be working on controlling the elements. This is very much of a Pisces energy, all this water and all that. Learning how to control your emotions. Maybe. Manifesting different things. I keep sacred the daily habits that make me feel good and allow my cells to vibrate at their highest level. I am patient with my needs, kind with my words, and playful of my soft places. So this is very much like I was saying, like you're going to be keeping things for you and around you that are good for you and your energy and they give back, and cutting other things out no matter what they are right now that don't. And being respectful for your own energy and your needs and what you want, because, you know, you're going to be going through a transitioning process. So let's pull, your guys is like really long. Let's pull an animal spirit card and then we'll be done with this reading. I hope you guys are okay with it being this long. Pisces energy always makes me dive. Luckily it's not as much as that one. That really messed me up for a little minute. But, apparently it was something I had to do. But I like Pisces energy. I mean, at the very least, it makes me dive. Hummingbird. Let's see what these two are. Okay. So we'll try to hurry up and fit into, you've got hummingbird, and you've got ant. All right, hummingbird. Hummingbird is associated with the ghost spirit religion, which taught that a certain dance done properly would bring about the return of the animals and that white people would disappear. Once again, the original people would know the joys of the old ways. In Mayan teachings, hummingbird is connected to the black sun and the fifth world. Hummingbird can give us the medicine to solve the riddle of the contradiction of duality. This is very much about duality. The song of hummingbird awakens the medicine flowers. Hummer sings a vibration of pure joy. Flowers love hummingbird because nectar sucking brings about the reproduction of their families. Plants flower and live because of hummingbird. Hummingbird can fly in any direction, up, down, backward, and forward. Hummingbird can also hover in one spot and appear to be motionless. Great Spirit created hummingbird to be slightly different from other feathered creatures. That's like Pisces. You guys are different than everyone else, but in a good way. Because of their magical qualities, hummingbird feathers have been used for a millennium in the making of love charms. Aww. It is said that hummingbird conjures love as no other medicine does, and that hummingbird feathers open the heart. Without an open and loving heart, you can never taste the nectar and pure bliss of life. To brother and sister hummingbird, life is a wonderful of delight. Life is a wonderland of delight, darting from one beautiful flower to another, tasting the essences and radiating the colors. If hummingbird is your personal medicine, you love life and its joys. Your presence brings joys to others. You join people together in relationships which bring out the best in them. You know instinctively where beauty abides, and near or far you journey to your ideal. You move comfortably within a beautiful environment and help others taste the succulent nectar of life. Hummingbird holds the bow of beauty, which is delicately inlaid with gold and silver flowers, pearls, and precious jewels. It disdains ugliness or harshness and quickly flies away from discord or harmony. Absolutely. If it has flown into your cards, get ready to laugh musically and enjoy Creator's many gifts. Drop your judgmental attitude and relax. Hummingbird will no doubt give you a flash of the spirit, darting here, there, and everywhere. Get ready for a strange new burst of energy which may send your senses reeling. Yeah, like that Kundalini awakening. Hummingbird hears celestial music and is in harmony with it. Hummingbird may invite you to an art museum or a concert It energetically embraces the highest aesthetics. Never be coarse in front of hummingbird, for this is a fragile medicine which may have no understanding of worldly affairs. Beauty is the target, and hummingbird's mission is to spread joy or be destroyed. Hummingbird quickly dies if caged, caught, or imprisoned. Follow sister hummingbird, and you will soon be filled with paroxysms of joy. I might have totally just butchered that. Or whatever. And I think it's paroxysm, like paradoxical. Paroxysms of joy, and experience a renewal of the magic of living. So that was pretty fitting. And then we have 32, which is ants, patience, pretty short. Ant can carry a leaf over hundreds of miles just to get it back to the anthill. Ants in Africa will strip a forest bare when food is scarce, if it takes them a year. Ant's medicine is the strategy of patience. I don't know if I said it, but ant means patience. Ant is a builder like beaver, is aggressive like badger, has stamina like elk, scrutiny like mouse, and giveaway like turkey. Every ant in an anthill is part of the ant group mind, as all the ants work for the queen and the hive. Self-sacrifice is a part of ant medicine. Greater than ants' other medicines, however, is patience. Ant people are active, community-minded folk who see the greater future needs of their town. Ant people are planners like squirrel and are content to see their dreams being built a little at a time. In today's society, that is a rare quality. In the desert, one type of ant will burrow a conical hole with its apex at the bottom. The ant will cover itself and patiently wait for some unsuspecting insect to fall in. As the sand crumbles, the prey eventually falls to the bottom, only to find ants' open jaws. Patience does have its rewards. Ant people have a knowing about the sweet victory at the end of the line. There is never concern about going without if they are late for the opening of a sale. If what they want is sold out, they are sure that something equal or better is available. If you have ant medicine, you eat slowly and deliberately and are content in knowing that what is yours will come to you. This knowing is good medicine. It shows a trust in the universe to provide. If ant meandered into your spread today, it is time to show a little trust and patience in some life situation. You may have forgotten that you will always receive that which you need at the time you need it most. If it is not on the horizon or just around the next anthill, you may need to use some strategy. How can you put to use your power of creation until it arrives, whatever it means to you at this time? Ant is working for the good of the whole. Are you? If you are, be assured that the whole wants the same goodness for you and that it will be provided. Y'all need to get on your mission. You need to get on your work and get crack-a-lacking. All right? That's what that's saying. Whatever that is to you, and you know what it is. If you guys need more personalized energy and spreads, let me know. I can help you with that. I love you guys. Thank you. I'm sorry. I know this is long. I hope you guys like it. If not, I don't know. But I'm going to do your guys' soul mate reading after this. I don't even know if I need to. It's pretty much wrapped both of them up, but we'll see what comes up. I love you guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. All donations, services, email, PayPal, all that description box below. I love you guys. Like, get through this. Good energy coming. It is a little bit like through it. I hope you understand what I just did. I don't know. But you guys know. But you can't be sitting ducks and know. You got to get to work. All right? I love you guys. I'll be seeing you soon. All my information is in the description box below. And I don't know. I guess that's it. I love you guys. Bye.